Truly having the customer's best interest at heart. How do you know when an auto repair shop is genuinely working for you and what it really means to put the customer first? So, there's a version of auto service that presents itself with a very outward signal of professionalism and care. The facility is clean and well organized. The advisor speaks with measured confidence and greets returning customers by name. The inspection report arrives promptly, formatted cleanly, and detailed enough to look thorough. Every visible element of the experience has been carefully constructed to produce one feeling in the customer: you are in good hands. But producing a feeling and genuinely earning it are two fundamentally different things. Sometimes the list of recommended services is longer than the vehicle's actual condition warrants. Sometimes the urgency attached to certain items feels engineered to drive a decision rather than informed one. Sometimes the explanation of what was found leaves the customer holding an estimate without a genuine understanding of what actually happened with their vehicle and without the confidence to know whether they are being told truly reflects their interest or quietly serves the shop's revenue goals. When a customer drives away from that interaction, something often travels with them. Not always a clearly defined complaint, more often a quiet, unresolved question, a subtle, uncertainty about whether what just happened in that service interaction was genuinely about their vehicle or about the shop's meeting a number. That uncertainty is one of the most consequential experiences a vehicle owner can make in the service relationship, and it is far more common than it should be. The difference between a shop that performs a customer care and a shop that has made a genuine, foundational, non-negotiable commitment to actually deliver what is not always visible on the surface, but it is real. It shapes every aspect of the relationship between a shop and the people it serves. And understanding what that commitment actually looks like and what it requires, how it shows up in daily practice, and what it produces over time is worth the careful attention of every driver who depends on their vehicle and wants to know that the shop they trust is genuinely worthy of that trust. So the industry created a trust problem it did not have to have. The warranties that most drivers carry into an automotive shop are not invented. It was taught by real experiences at real shops that left real impressions upon what the service relationship actually involves and whose interest is actually serves. The automotive repair industry trust problem was built incrementally. One unnecessary service recommendation at a time, one estimate that arrived significantly higher than quoted, with explanations that felt insufficient, one interaction that left the customer, feeling managed rather than genuinely served. Not entirely sure what happened, but walking away with a quiet conviction that the person across the service counter was not completely working in their best interest. Those experiences do not stay contained to the individual shop that occurred. They travel through conversations, through community networks, through the organic word of mouth that shapes local reputation more powerfully than the advertising campaigns do. They become the stories people tell when someone in their circle is looking for a mechanic recommendation. They become the filter through which every subsequent automotive service interaction is evaluated, including interactions at shops that are genuinely operating with integrity. And see, that becomes the problem, okay? So the shops that truly have the customer's best interest at heart, it's kind of backwards. So if you think about a quick lube and you walk in and a normal quick lube doesn't recommend a lot, and they recommend some quick, fast services that they can make some extra, add-on money. But they're not doing a complete dive into your vehicle. So it's a convenience thing. It's like going to the convenience store to get milk, and instead of going to the big grocery store. You're going to pay more for the milk at the convenience store than you do the local, grocery store. But it's quick in and out. It's convenient. Fast food, convenient versus going into a restaurant. So when you walk into a full service automotive repair shop that truly has your best interest at heart, it's not fast. It's not in and out. The experience should be that they are interested in you and your car. The experience should be that and they're actually showing that. Unfortunately, customers aren't trained. They don't understand that it actually takes time to be, for the check-in process. If the service writer, service advisor has got a relationship with their computer and they're just going name, address, phone number, okay, you're here for an oil change, great. All right, give me the keys. Okay, we'll call you. That's quick in and out for the customer. The customer's like, yes, I'm in and out of there fast. But the shop didn't actually do its job. The shop's job is to build a relationship with you, show interest in you and your car. And as the professional, they need to find out about you and the car. They need to ask questions. You need to have an actual conversation. You need to be open to the conversation. Because how do they know your driving habits? How do they know whether you like the car or not? How do they know how long you're going to keep the car? They don't know anything about you or the car until they ask questions and you answer them honestly. And by actually, determining your needs, then they can act like a professional and start coming up with a plan on bringing your car up to speed on safety, repair, and maintenance. If they're not asking, when was the last time you had your transmission, fluid exchanged? If they're not asking maintenance questions, if they're not showing interest in you in the car, that means that they're going to bring it in, and then depending on the quality of the shop, they will do a courtesy check / digital vehicle inspection. The digital vehicle inspection's got one with pictures and videos to help you to prove that you actually need what they're saying you need. Then they're going to build an estimate, and the estimate, some automotive repair shops are just going to build an estimate based on simply the most important things that they feel on your vehicle, and that's what they're going to present you with. Well, they're not telling you about the rest of the stuff that you actually need, the maintenance and where the rest of the vehicle is at. So you're not making an educated adult decision on your car. You're just basing it on, well, my car needs this. Well, and actually to bring it up to speed, it might need a whole lot more. Problem is that a lot of shops are afraid of approaching you and letting you know that your car needs a whole lot more. I mean, if shocks need to be replaced at 75,000, shocks and struts at 75,000, the flushes on your vehicle, the fuel injection flush needs to be done at 15,000 once a year every 15K. The rest of the flushes normally need to be done every other year, every 30,000 miles. And then, when are you supposed to do an alignment? Once a year every 15,000 miles. Air filter, cabin air filter, once a year every 15,000 miles, unless you're in really, really dusty conditions. These things need to be replaced on an ongoing, continuous basis. And most shops are afraid of approaching you with it because they're going to give you the laundry list, this big list of stuff that your car needs, and then you're going to think that they're a shop that is pushing too much stuff, and you're going to give them a bad reputation. And it's just too funny to me how that ends up hurting the customer, because now the shop is afraid of the customer. Well, if the shop actually takes the time and you give them the time on the drop, when you're dropping the vehicle off, to find out about you and to educate you and let you know what's going on with your vehicle so that you know what's happening with you and for you and why, then you should be spending the money on your car. And it costs money to drive a car. And you're not saving money by avoiding maintenance. You're not saving money by avoiding maintenance. You're going to pay for it one way or another. Only thing is if you don't pay for the maintenance, then it's going to end up costing you a lot more to buy a new or used vehicle. You buy a new one, then you got huge depreciation, huge sales tax, huge registration and insurance. It's huge how much it costs, even if it's a quote inexpensive car. And if you're buying an inexpensive car, well, you're buying what you get. So good luck with that. And if you're buying a used car, you're buying somebody else's problems that didn't maintain it, just like you're not maintaining yours. So then it's just going to cost you a lot more whether you buy a new or a used car versus keeping this one and bringing it up to speed and maintaining it. But you don't want to hear that. Customers don't want to hear that because it means that they actually have to spend money. Well, you spend a little and save a lot if you take care of your ongoing car, unless it's rusting around your ears or truly not worth it. And of course, there are cases where cars are truly not worth it. Um, but they're way fewer and far between than you might think. So, yeah, we want the new car smell. We want this. We want that. We want to be able to keep up with the Joneses. We want to feel good about our car. Well, what about feeling great about your bank account and your retirement fund or great vacations that you're taking because of the money that you're saving? What about, upgrading your house? What about, I mean, there's a million other things you could be spending your money on instead of cars that just cost so much money it's not even funny. So I'm begging of you to understand that if a shop actually has your best interest at heart, that means that they are going to be giving you a laundry list. You are going to be spending money. You are going to need to take care of your car, and it doesn't just magically happen. So, you can go one of two directions. You can always be paying the manufacturers or the bank or the insurance companies or the state for the higher, registration fees and all of the other stuff every year. Or you can spend a lot less money and pay the automotive repair shop that truly has your best interest at heart and wants to build a long-term relationship with you and take care of that car. And so you can plan your when you want to come into the shop instead of your car breaking and then you not trusting it and then you needing a new or used one. It's just you've got to make the choice on which direction that you want to go. I mean, are you going to build a relationship and end up and trust goes both ways? You're gonna find a great shop that you can trust and that they can trust you, or are you going to always be at the mercy of who your friends are saying the good shop is right now? And then how do they even know? So you need to really spend some time researching. Everybody knows how to do the research now on using Google reviews and everything. And they make sure that you're reading those reviews because in the automotive industry, there's a lot of negative customers that don't ever want to be educated and always want it to be somebody else's fault. Is it fair? No. Did the industry actually earn it? Mostly. But it earned it in used cars, not in car repair for the most part. It's called, oh my God, it's a used car salesman mentality. Well, it's used cars. Once again, do you want to buy used cars? That's what the mentality that you're going to be going, that's going to be happening around you. Automotive repair, you're now dealing with people that are taking care of onboard computers and sensors. And so electronics, electrical, pneumatics, hydraulics. I mean, they're actual rocket scientists. So we can either worry about some of the bad eggs that are out there, or we can find a good shop and know that they truly have your best interest at heart. Stay safe, stay strong.